Welcome back to Whiskey Neckboard. I'm Zach.
And I'm John, and welcome back to the Brick House.
Today's video is going to be like a summary sort of recap
It's the end of the year.
of what we've gotten our hands on this year in 2022.
I mean, we've been doing this for a year now. We've gotten to try some cool stuff, so...
Dude, that's also true. We have been shooting some of these videos and stuff. We started this channel about a year ago, so this is kind of a cool 1 year sort of anniversary wrap up sort of thing that we're going to be doing. I do want to remind everybody to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. We are still trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. When we do, we've got some pretty big plans for a E.H. Taylor Grain of the Gods bottle. So make sure you stay subscribed for that, because we've got some cool things going on.
We gotta share the love on that one.
Oh, yeah. So to jump in to our video for this week, our recap for 2022, we're going to be talking about the best whiskey bottle we've had this year overall.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about the worst that we've had this year, the biggest surprise, the biggest letdown.
Well, the biggest letdown for something that should have been hype.
Yeah, something that we had really high expectations for that didn't meet them.
Yeah.
And then biggest surprise would be something that our expectations were kind of low for, but it was like way up here.
It delivered.
Oh, yeah. What's the other category? Best unicorn pour that we've had this year.
There's been a few good ones, man.
So again, just what we were able to find. If you found some cool stuff, leave a comment below. Let us know what you found, whether that be at retail, out in secondary, whatever it is. We want to know. We're curious.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with the worst of the year.
It's funny because, like, this is one thing, like, we didn't even have to talk about. We already knew which bottle this was. Kind of hate to say it, though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to hate it.
This could have also been the biggest letdown, because I think the hype for this was also really high. A lot of people probably already know what it is, but we are talking about Hidden Barn Batch 2.
It's just a miss. And, like, it sucks because, like, I love everything they're doing. I love it's a small, like, distillery. They have Jackie's iCam. Like, I love everything about this. It's just not there yet.
Yeah, it was very young. The corn, it was just super corn grain forward. Which, to each their own. Some people, I'm sure this was a hitter for them. Like, for us, for me, no. Like, this was very apparent that it was not necessarily rushed, but like it probably could have done well with a little bit more time in a barrel.
Like, if money was no problem, I don't think this would have been released. I kind of feel like we're pushing it because, like, they need the money, and in the future, can they, like, turn around and make something incredible? Like, absolutely.
Yeah. Ooh, an alternative to this one, like a second runner-up for worst overall. You're going to hate me for this. It might actually be that Castle and Key.
I don't disagree with you, man. Like, I really, 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 really can't say really enough. Wanted to be like, Castle and Key fanboy, love you. But, like, man, like, granted, we have only tried one out of the 4 or 5 they've done so far.
Yeah, and it was their first. It was batch 1 of their bourbon, right? But again, some similar flavor profiles there. Corn, grain forward up front. Presentation on that bottle is beautiful, though.
But I'm going to caveat you.
Okay.
One of the bottles we have coming up was distilled in Castle and Key, and that was one that we thought lowest height, or like it hit above its pay.
That's true, but we're going to talk about this when we get to it. But this bottle had something that Hidden Barn and Castle and Key didn't have. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But biggest, worst overall for the year, unfortunately, is going to be Hidden Barn Batch 2. Biggest letdown. So ours are going to vary for this one.
Yeah,
we're like first.
Yeah, we're a little torn about biggest letdown.
Yeah.
So for my biggest letdown, I just don't get it. Like, I'm a sucker for a good story.
Get it?
I don't. Like, Kentucky Owl. Like, it's a flop. It's not worth $125 or $110 or... I've seen this on sale for like $99, which is supposedly below MSRP. I'm still not a buyer.
It's interesting that the expectations were high because of the price point on it. Because for me as well, my letdown of the year is Calumet 15. Coming in at like, I think it was with taxes and stuff, it was like $130, $135. I would have expected a lot more, especially from something that's aged this old.
15
right?
years. I mean, that's like no joke.
But it's not there. It feels like it's missing some very like key, just flavor profile notes.
It's just
that
off.
You would expect from a 15-year-old whiskey.
I hate to say it, but it's like these are.
Yeah.
It's just not worth the money, man. You could spend your money so much more effectively.
Yeah. I think if I was going to spend $130 now, it would be on something different.
Yeah.
Probably not something that's blended. And
oh, what's crazy is like I could take both what we paid for these bottles and like go on the secondary market and I could buy a lot of good stuff for that kind of money.
Yeah, you could almost get a Russell's 13, and that would be much better than both of these.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Facts.
So, biggest letdowns, these are the two that we have for this year. What do you want to jump into? Biggest surprise?
This one's a banger. Like,
Yeah.
we both agreed on this one.
I wish we had a full bottle.
We're going to have to get one.
Shipping is a nightmare. But the Blue Run Emerald Rye.
It was good.
Boy, oh boy, what a surprise. So we like Blue Run, and full disclosure, Blue Run did send us those samples, right?
When we say we like Blue Run, I think you're more the Blue Run guy in this.
I enjoy the flavor profile that they're putting together.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been a little hater on it. But this one turned me hard. I was like, dang, like this is like some good stuff.
So, coming out of the same distillery, I'm sorry, the juice is coming out of the same
Castle and Key,
as
babe.
the Castle Key, right? The difference is Jim Rutledge has been working his magic over there in the distilling and all that fun stuff. And then they also have Shaylin Gammon blending and doing all. I mean, not listening, but reading some of her thoughts and what she was going for on sort of blending the Emerald Rye. It's fantastic.
It's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is one that we really probably need to get another bottle of.
Yeah. It's light, it's bright, it's got some good sort of fresh,
It's light, it's bright.
I don't know how else to describe it. The thing, so one of the tasting notes that they sort of put on it was shishito peppers. I understand why they put that note there, not necessarily because it's peppery and it's spicy, but because it has those like bright green sort of vegetable-y, fruity notes.
It was just crisp.
Yeah,
crisp. It was so crisp, and definitely something that I know I want to get my hands back on.
Oh yeah. So Emerald Rye by Blue Run was the biggest surprise.
It's a banger
for 2022. Why don't we move into
this is a tough category.
The best overall? Okay.
So like, let's define that category just a little bit. For the price you can pay for the bottle.
So we're going to be talking about the price. We're going to be talking about the availability. And we're going to be talking about just the flavor profile overall for us. This is what we determined was best overall.
Okay.
I'll start it off. It's steep, and I'll be honest. But Michter's 10-year rye, the 2022 release.
It's a banger.
Just a beautiful, beautiful rye. It's got all of those good caramely, rye baking spice notes that you want. It is expensive, I think, with taxes and everything here at the Virginia ABC. It was about $1.85, but I was able to get it at retail, whatever Virginia labels as retail.
Yeah.
This is just a bottle that I am so grateful to have been able to purchase. That paying $185 for it really doesn't bother me that much.
So like, and I would agree with you because like at $185, like it does punch above its weight. It's a solid bottle. It's just beautifully balanced and crafted. Like, it's just so good. It's so smooth. But even at the secondary price, like, it's under $300, and like, honestly, like, that's a solid bottle. Like, if you were gonna go out and buy like 10 bottles that aren't that great versus that, like, I would almost be inclined to go that route.
Yeah. This is a great pour. It's a great bottle to have. We were definitely fortunate enough to be able to get one this year, because they are, it's a very highly sought after.
Yeah, I mean, like, whiskey. It really is, because like most people are going to either drink this or flip it, so
yep,
it's not going to sit on the shelf.
What would be your best overall for this year?
So, like, man, I feel like I had 5, but I wanted to keep it simple.
1792 12 year.
Look, like, before we started this channel, I was like, this is one of my go-tos. Even through it all, it's still just one of my like favorite go-tos. And what I really love about this bottle is, like, it is a little harder to find. It's still doable, but like, secondary pricing hasn't moved on this bottle. It's still $100. You can go at any time and get one of these delivered to your house for $100. And I think for $100, like, if I'm going to spend $100 versus like a couple of these bottles up here, man, that thing just punches so above its weight. It's 12 years aged to start with, which is a pretty long time. The flavor on it is just so unique. I love everything they're doing on this bottle, and
yeah,
after trying hundreds of whiskeys, it's still one of my go-tos.
And just to clarify, we are not, condoning or saying you should go to the secondary and get one of these. We are just saying we know the secondary exists. We know it's a problem. We know that it's created havoc and all of that stuff. But unfortunately, that's where a lot of this stuff has to be found at if you're looking for it. Because in the state of Virginia, anything outside of 1792 small batch for that line, the last bottle we have is going to be our best unicorn pour of 2022.
This was a good bottle.
This was a good bottle, and I will just clarify. The reason we have this bottle is because we actually killed it at the bar that we were at. We filled it back up with some, I think it was just some crappy stuff that we had in the back here for the picture, and so people can actually see the name on the bottle. But
we don't stunt at Whiskey Not Pour.
William LaRue Weller from the BTAC line. I believe that was the 2018 release of it.
It stinks because, like, this bottle we got near the end of the night, and I wish we would have started with this beginning of the night.
Yeah,
because it was really good.
It was super good. Yeah. What ended up happening is we were up in DC for a weekend, and the hotel we were staying at had this insane whiskey bar, like, in the basement. Right?
It was incredible.
I don't even remember what it was called. Like,
it's like you didn't even know it was there, and like this like door opened at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you like went down, and it was like, holy crap!
Like, they had these like beautiful tables and like this bar set up. I mean, it was incredible, right? And we were looking around, and like, not every bar has the bottles listed on the menu because the bottles rotate in and out. So the first one we saw that caught our eye was Grain of the Gods, right? We were like, oh my God, we can try this because we've got one. It was just the tube. They didn't actually have the bottle. And then John found the William LaRue Weller up there.
It was like chilling behind a few bottles.
Yeah.
And we were like, hey, what do you got there?
There was like 4.5, 5 ounces left in it.
Yeah.
So we each grabbed 2 ounces, and then they just, killed the bottle for us.
Yeah.
I think it was about $100. So it was like $50 an ounce.
It was steep.
Yeah, it was steep. It's a unicorn pour. Like, this is not something that you're gonna see everywhere. And even at $50 an ounce, like, absolutely, it was fantastic. Like, I can't remember the last time I remember feeling that, like, Kentucky bang bang,
Kentucky bang bang.
You just feel it, right? You sip on it and you can feel it move down your throat, like into your stomach, and like your chest gets warm. I mean, it was amazing. Super viscous, coats your entire mouth. The finish was forever.
It was a very long finish on that.
It was just, it's beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. Great bottle. If you have one,
Crack
we're
it.
super jealous.
Yeah, like don't sit on this bottle, man. Like open
Yeah.
this bottle up and
Share it.
treat your boys, treat your family. That's a good bottle, man.
Yep.
I'm like looking forward to like where our 2023 review is going to be.
I know. 2023 is going to be interesting. Just to talk about this a little bit, behind John, we do have a couple of our small barrels set up over there. They're currently sealing. When you buy small barrels like this, you have to sort of fill them up with water and let them absorb some of the water so they seal and you don't lose a whole bunch of your juice once you fill it up. So that's going to be something that we start doing at the first of the year. We really want to get some input, so if you guys don't mind leaving a comment on what we should do with these little barrels.
Yeah. What should we fill them up with? What should we age? But like, I'm kind of like digging the idea of like, do we try to like infuse some stuff? Like,
We could, yeah.
Like, do we put a little honey in there or lavender and just like let it roll? Like,
I know for one of these, for sure, what we're doing is 1915. So we're going to take the Old Forester 1910 and the Old Forester 1920. We're going to dump a bottle of each into one of these and let it sit for a little bit, and then we're also going to do it in a glass bottle as well, and do like a compare and contrast thing, just to kind of see like what doing it in a barrel does versus letting it blend and mix in a glass bottle.
well, what's fun about these is like everybody, you can do it with us. Like we can do this together, age them a little longer, see how that turns out. But I had like a wild idea when I was sitting here, like talking about this. What was like the big thing this year that like got a lot of hype?
The big thing this year that got a lot
Like
of
food wise,
food-wise.
Nashville hot chicken.
What?
What if we take hot honey? And
Oh,
like,
dude, no.
I mean, you say that, but
Like
we could,
spicy honey?
like hot honey, yeah, spicy. And like, what if it turned into this like incredible?
Don't they have like a Tabasco flavored whiskey out there?
I'm sure there's something.
Interesting. You know what I missed that I wanted to try really bad? And I know this is deviating from the topic, but that Arby's bourbon that they put out, man. I wanted to try that so bad. Because it's not like it's meat flavored, right? It's based on the wood that they smoke the meats with.
Yeah.
Is how they like age it.
It sold out quick.
And it wasn't available here in Virginia.
No.
Of course, go figure.
It went pretty crazy really quick. So yeah, I am kind of curious to see how that one would turn out.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get our hands on some Arby's bourbon.
Maybe so. If you made it this far, we definitely appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, just as a reminder, we are trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. We got some cool things planned for that Grain of the Gods bottle back here. So make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for that, because when we hit 2,000, we're going to be doing some cool stuff. Until next year, we hope everybody has a safe and happy new year.